How are we feeling? Should we just get started? Yeah, okay. And if people trickle in, they trickle in. And we can say, like, this is probably going to be recorded. And then you can rewatch our beautiful faces talking about the wonderful MAGWest on the West Coast. We did this panel last year just to give some visibility about the West Coast event that we run. MAGFest has multiple events throughout the year, but I think what's very unique about this event is that it happens in California instead of on the East Coast, where MAGFest has BitGen and MagLabs, and they do partnerships with like AwesomeCon and stuff. So like, we just want to make sure like, hey, cool, East Coast, great. But if you happen to be closer to the other side of the United States, we do have a little friendly event called MAGWest, where there's pool parties and a smaller setting and ways, just lots of ways to have fun. So thank you so much for being here to learn more about it if you've never been here. Just curious for those in the crowd, have you been there before? Oh my gosh, what am I doing? You guys can conduct, you can do this panel. I do too much shit as it is, so you can just run this panel.
Only partially a joke, by the way. We recruit regularly, so please.
I won't go anywhere. But before we dive in, let's do some intros. I will start with myself. I'm V. Here at MAGFest, I am a board of directors. My role as an officer, or the president. I'm really bad at saying that, so it doesn't get any better. But at the West Coast, I am their programming division head, so I do all of like the marketplace and the panels and the charity department and cosplay, which is a new department. So I handle all of like the and in between music and gaming, and I will pass the torch over here to my right.
Sure. So for folks who usually don't see me because I'm lurking in the shadows at MAGWest, I'm one half of the music department team. That includes everything from scouting and booking the acts to putting them on, running the stages at events, AV requisition, all of those fun, exciting things that involve RFPs and spreadsheets, all so that you can go sit out there and have those emotional moments. But typically at event, I usually run everything from the jam space on down. So I staff and run the jam space, the pool party, the variety stage. That's kind of a joint ownership between V and I. And then there are some random little spots where people will put on music and they'll need some AV help there. So we'll make sure that they have a volunteer there to run a board or whatever.
Gabe, I'm the other half of music department leadership. Generally co-book with Gene, and I'm the house manager for the main stage at West.
Awesome. We do have a couple of other, event chairs as part of our team who are, one of them's physically not here in this room, but he's running around. Ben Tristan, who is our main event chair. He's been with MAGWest since the inception of it in 2017. And so he is basically our boss. And then we have Cheeto Signo, who runs the gaming component, where he takes care of all the consoles and the arcade and the indies. So I don't think he's here at the event physically, but I just wanted to make sure that we do have like a 4-person leadership team. Am I missing something? Oh yeah, 5-person leadership team. But like MAGFest, the rest of the event is volunteer fueled. So we do have all the different departments who have their respective department heads. And we also have, folks who are staffers who come in at the event to just help out, moderate panels, do all of like the work to help put things together and whatnot. So for today, here's a couple of our objectives to talk about the event in like more retrospective view. We did the welcome, we did some introductions. We wanted to give a little bit about what West is about, which we did kind of talk about, kind of not talk about yet. We're going to talk a little bit about MAGWest 2026, things that go with behind the scenes, how to get involved, question and answer, maybe a story time. Like if you've been out West and you want to share a story, we want to hear it. I will say that as part of human error, I don't think that Mentimeter works. So if you try to scan it, I'm sorry if it takes you to a completely different site. But we do have ways for you to get a hold of us outside of this, which we'll run down at the end of this panel. So, about MAGWest. I don't know, in 3 words, how would you describe MAGWest?
MAGFest, but better. No, just it's a. I will. I'm sure there'll be time to talk about that. I will say though, I think when MAGWest first started, it was a little bit more modeled after MAGWest, but over time it's developed a little bit more of its own identity, not just because of the weather, but just as departments and things evolve, they just sort of take their own shape.
Local culture.
Yeah, very much.
Okay. What's your words?
MAGFest, but smaller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
We'll get
also
there.
lost signal. Oh no. Oh no. Someone please spit a rhyme. Someone spit a rhyme. Okay, give me words. Give me awesome words, actually. Yes.
MAGFest with pool parties.
Okay, MAGFest with pool parties. All right.
Yeah, very long hyphenated word. I love it.
Jen, you've been to MAGWest. How would you describe it?
I don't know. It's just fun. It's tight-knit.
Unofficial Bravo list.
Okay.
Unofficial Bravo bus.
We
Okay.
cannot officially endorse the Bravo bus. However, it's an experience.
Oh no. Okay, I am having problems. I am so sorry, y'all. Okay, that's okay. So,
Oh, real quick. What did you want to say?
yes.
San Jose, California. So about an hour south of San Francisco, if you're not familiar. Bring several thousand of your friends and maybe we'll talk about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Ooh,
interesting.
do you have a charger?
Yeah, this is the charger.
Oh, did it get unplugged?
No. That's odd. That's okay. Let's see. I will talk about what is MAGWest, and then we'll just go through it and just be troopers about this. Yeah, about MAGWest. MAGWest is MAGBest is the tagline. I would say that the intention of creating this event was to help with a more of like an expansion project. The old leadership of MAG Super, they recognized that this big event was growing, right? And there's so much content and so much stuff that you can just pack into this Gaylord. So at one point, it's just like how much is just enough, right? And so because of all the hype that has gone on with this event, they decided to go through this process called MAGQuest, where it was a quest to expand, a quest to find a new home. And so that, I believe, they had an event partnership with, I think the agency's name was Rockage. And so they started there where they did music and gaming. And luckily, they were already in close connection with the Super Soul Bros. So it was a lot of the bookings from there to help kind of translate from you recognize Super Soul Bros. They live here in San Jose. We're going to book them as one of our first artists. Megaran is also West Coast. So they also booked Megaran. So they try to make sure that any talent that has been on the East Coast that is West Coast bound, that they would bring them up to this area to kind of incentivize the community that there is a version of what we do on the East Coast on that side. And so after it being called MAGQuest, they then turned it into MAGWest. And I believe the first year that they ran it, it was over at the Santa Clara Convention Center. And then they moved from the Santa Clara Convention Center to the DoubleTree. And what's really attractive about the DoubleTree is that we have a pool. And it's also very easy to navigate that building. And so, and free cookies, that is correct. And they also have cookies without nuts and cookies with walnuts. And they also have vegan cookies. So it's choose your own adventure with those cookies. But yeah, that was the exception of it. I would say personally for me, I didn't get involved until 2020, which is a very interesting year to get involved. But I was an attendee for 2 years before I decided to look into volunteering and getting involved. And what's unique about it, I think, is on the West Coast, there's a lot of, again, this is not to drag on other conventions, but there are anime conventions, like one of the more powerful conventions out there, I would say, is Fanime. And then there's like, Anime Expo in the Southern California. And then in Northern California, there's SAC Anime. So like those are already like in existence and of course our competition. But what they do is like, your standard, like they have their panels, they center everything around anime culture. They have their guests and like, autographs and like marketplace and stuff, where what we're bringing is more music oriented programming. So we try to bring in composers, we try to bring in, like music that is very nostalgic to us and center our programming around that. So we try to treat it more as like a jazz festival, but for video game music. And that's what kind of gives that secret sauce to what we're trying to build up. So if you guys want to vamp on that.
Yeah, actually I did want to add on to that. So V mentioned quite a few anime conventions, and I think there's huge anime conventions out here too, but that was one of the things that I think really shaped our event early on. Is actually our very first year in the convention center, we were kind of doing a co-sponsorship thing with Crunchyroll Expo. So we're not certainly an anime convention, but I think more anime, Japanese music, Japanese culture tends to be proportionally, I would say, a bigger portion of MAGWest than here. And when I say proportionally, I mean there's probably about as much of that over there as there is here, but there's 10 times as much content here. So, do the math. But I think that's just reflective of the local community. We have a lot more just anime culture on the West Coast, especially in the Bay Area and Southern California. I don't know if you had anything else to add. Not to that specifically.
Nope.
Gabe is very tired, so I'm talking for both of us. We're usually the Wonder Twins, and we're very chatty, but not right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing a routine now, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Jane. Sorry, I'm like digging for this. Like, I know I have another charger that would. Come on. Anywho. Yeah. Oh, my hero. Maybe. Is this a charger? What is this? Oh. Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. Gabe is just blessed. This sucks? Oh, I was about to say, man, you're really just. Come on, Jen. Okay. It will hopefully boot up soon. But yeah, we try our best to, incorporate a lot of like Bay Area related things that I feel, and again, my opinion only, and I know this is getting recorded somewhere, and so like I don't need someone getting miffed at me being like, how dare you? No. I think there's a lot more like metal centered focused here, and then like I think on the West Coast there's more like jazz and I would say like not classical, but also like industrial music because of like the San Francisco scene. And so not to say that, Mag Super does not have that here, but I know that we try to like tailor the focus based off of what the audience is in San Jose. Okay.
We have a great jazz scene in San Jose for folks who aren't familiar with the area. Just a long-running history of a lot of really talented jazz musicians, which is why, Soul Bros are our homies. And now we have, coming up front, Character Select, Trevor's band. They're another jazz group in that same sort of mold. Love them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Trevor got a San Jose Jazz
There you go.
Artist Aid, right?
Yeah.
It was great to write my own original music. I wrote a new song for them, and now I'm doing a full show with them in later February. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Heck yeah. Congrats. Yeah.
MAGFest, but local. There you go.
MAGFest but local. So I guess when this event usually happens in the year, so then that way we're not having like double up of events, is that there is a sequence at MAGWest or MAGFest that we try to follow. So at the beginning of the year kicks off with Super. And then when you get down into the March, like spring area, there's Mag Labs. You trickle down later in the year, there is Mag Stock, which is the camping event. And then after Mag Stock is then our event. So we usually hit around like the late summer, very early fall area of the year. That's when I mean, California typically has very good weather. We don't really face a lot of snow or rain or monsoons or anything like that. So we try to keep it in like the summertime area because it's perfect for like pool parties. It's around when a lot of people are out of school or taking a break or doing vacation, and so that's the time of the year that we host that event. And then after that, then is another there's another Mag Labs event after that, and then there's a little bit of like there's BitGen, and then there's a little bit of a break, and then MAGFest Super happens. So that's kind of like the rotating schedule with how MAGWest lands. What's interesting is because we are a smaller event, we do have some flexibility with like what's the dates. We've been kind of experimenting to see like what dates work best for us. We've seen that August is kind of that sweet spot because like folks haven't gone back to school yet, or they've gone to their other major conventions, or they've completed a lot of major summer vacations around that time. So we try to like aim it right towards the end, so that way we're not trying to go too much against like the grain with like other people's plans in that area. But it's been experimental. We tried September, we've tried July, and we've kind of sat in the middle with like August for the most part. Is she gonna wake up?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter when we schedule it, just always is a heat wave. While you're pulling that up, I wanted to bring up a quick
Yeah,
note.
go for it.
Speaking of BitGen, one of the things that we've started to do a little bit more, also big thanks to both Gabe and V, we started to do some West Coast smaller music events affiliated with MAG, but those are they're not quite as regular as BitGen. We did, there was the Portland one that you ran, and then we what's that? FanCon. Well, FanCon is one we do at the local mall, Eastridge, but we did just a couple of shows in the summertime this year. We try to do a couple of off-season smaller shows. I think one was called Game Over. That was in Oakland. So
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. And you also do POW, which is sort of
It's cross-pollination in the
Yeah.
booking. Yeah.
around GDC.
Yeah, I see hands. Let's you first, and then the Guild House.
Yes, we
yeah.
have. We actually did a Street Fighter 6 launch party event. We had a couple, I think 3 bands perform there. That was 2 years ago? I'm trying to remember exactly when. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. And we've done other smaller things there, but I think that was our biggest one.
Gabe.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, we want to partner more with Guild House. It's just you're kind of looking at most of the team for music stuff. So it's if you want to join the team and help us put on more events, talk with us after. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yay, we're working. Let's go. Oh my god.
I saw a lot of MAGWest shirts walking around, specifically this year, the MAGWest 7. I was really happy to see that. Nice.
Let's go. Yeah, I think some of our strategy too to help build just build our community more is to try to brand ourselves and partner with different events that have the similar values. Because we can't just be siloed and be by ourselves in California. So I will say that I do really give it up to Jean, who's been like working tirelessly on making sure that we're reaching out to agencies that really want to like work with us. So then that way, when we do our own event, at least people will recognize us and they can see like, oh, we get a little bit more full throttle version versus like the taster, like the little like appetizer version of us. Speaking of core values, we do implement the same core values that we do have at MAGFest Super. We try not to have like in-your-face sponsors, no overcrowded show floors, so like there's lots of space. And we really want to drive on like the passion and the projects that people want to do with us and how they want to work with us on a year-to-year basis. AKA, we don't want to be selling out or be sellouts. We want to sell out, but we don't want to be sellouts because, that's not a very authentic way to engage with others. Also, something on here too, like that I want to bring in is that we're really trying to make sure that our event is hyper participatory, right? So when you get there, you get something out of it, right? So For example, Michelle here at the front has run a choir workshop where you can just walk in and read and sight read gamer choir music. And you don't have to have a bunch of experience. You can be an amateur, you can be a pro. It really doesn't matter what your walk of life is. Like, you're welcomed into that space to just sing with others. Go ahead.
I just want to really say, I think the important thing to say about that is the year before it happened, Michelle basically said, "Why isn't this there?" And then she ran it. That's literally that's how a lot of stuff here works too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when we say there is something for you, sometimes you are the person that you be the change you want to see, right? If there's some content or a panel that you want to see there and you're the expert on it, that's how it happens. Really, the pool party started the same way. I think in year 2, it wasn't there in the very first year, and it was like, why don't we make use of this space? So that's very much participate in all the ways that really you can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's how like our cosplay department started as well, right? Like, we didn't have anybody running cosplay. I was, as a programming division head, I was already at my cap with taking in any more projects that would be managed by me. And someone would be like, you should. I'm like, you should.
Yeah.
You should. What do you mean? I was like, I can't do it. It's like, do you hate cosplay? No. Then you should. I'm like, no, you should. So like, it's just really important. Like, I think that's something that we definitely welcome in, is like just making sure, like, if you want to run it and you have a vision, go for it and try it, and embrace the bumps that come with it. And so that way you can improve on a year-to-year basis. Anything else on that?
I think there's one thing that I as we've gotten through the years, one thing I'd really like to stress that I think is really great about all MAG events is that sort of the distance between our idols, whether that's musicians or guests, is it's much narrower here. Like, we don't worship them. We don't sit around waiting for autographs. I mean, there is a portion of that, but they can go out and enjoy the events themselves too. Like, I just saw Sung Hwan, the voice actor, just walking around National Harbor. He wasn't getting mobbed by people. And like, if this were an anime convention, I'm sure he would be in a mile-long line, and just everybody would be, heaping praise on him. And that can be a little exhausting. And we really try to make the guest experience, the musician experience, like, yes, when you're up there doing your thing, everybody's cheering for you. But when you're out and about, you're just one of us. You're a big nerd.
Were you there in the jam space with John Eric Bentley?
Yes, when we were in the Cypher yesterday, at the last day. Yeah, so the voice actor for Barrett, he just kept popping into all of our rehearsals. So before we even get to that, we had a rehearsal for the orchestra and the choir, and he was just like, damn, this is sounding really good. And I'm like, we were a closed door. He literally like walked in to tell us how great it was. And like, at the end of it, he just wanted to be part of something so badly. There was a Nerdcore Cypher where they were recording a kind of an impromptu Final Fantasy VII album on the fly, and he recorded some voice lines kind of in the Barrett voice, which they're going to be releasing that album a little later this year. Shout out Bayokio. So they just like created an album right then and there on Sunday at the last day of MAGFest, and he's on it just because he wanted to be part of it and nothing else.
Yeah. No, I was helping liaison him, and he's like, you mean I get to see all this stuff? I'm like, yeah, you're not trapped at a table all day. He goes, I can leave my table? I'm like...
That's sad. That's kind of sad, but yeah, that's exactly the kind of feeling we're trying to cultivate.
Yeah, like we get a lot of folks who go to bajillion conventions every year, and like they get so surprised. I'm like, what do you mean I have liberties? I'm like, girl, what? All right. We did talk about some history, but I will share some of the themes that we've had. So 2017, the birth of MAGWest, and then, our first year was Gotta Go West. So we did Sonic first. And then the year after that, we did an Animal Crossing theme. We did, in 2020, that was the year that I think one of the more important things about MAGWescent is that it was during COVID, it was during the pandemic, and where everyone was sheltered in place and trying to figure out like how to interact with each other. And for MAGFest, like incorporated for the whole agency, we were the first virtual event to try to see if we can actually do a full-scale virtual event. And it worked out really well. All of the content that we did is still online. And because it went well the first time, we did a second year of it, just so that way people can still enjoy the content that they want to see, but from the safety of their own homes. And that also inspired MAGFest to also do their own version of their virtual event, which was the telethon. So, you know, while we kind of act as like the testing grounds for certain things, it ripples into areas, even with MAGFest Super, on how they can be successful when things are uncertain. So I thought that was really cool. And then we did Jet Set Radio when we came back in person. And then we did Splatoon, and we have Persona, and then the Final Fantasy VII theme last year. So I will say that the event is almost 10 years old, 9 years old. There's a lot of controversy on like what those years really mean, but I will just put down like, you know, 2017 through 19, we took a little bit break back in 2022. We just completed 2025. And then we also have, you know, the 2 virtual events for whatever that means. I'm going to pause there in case any of you guys want to.
I think there was something that I wanted to say. There's no hard and fast rule about this, but I think one thing we do try is try to be, you know, and please don't come at me for this. I think one of the things we really do try is to have some slightly more contemporary themes, some, you know, newer game franchises as our theme picks. Final Fantasy VII is great, and we definitely leaned into the rebirth, remake kind of vibe a lot more, which is why we had all the voice actors. So, you know, respect for the classics, but also kind of, you know, I'm just going to call out myself. We're not all my age. A lot of people are younger. So, you know, got to look to the future instead of the past.
Real quick.
Eye towards growth.
An eye towards growth, yeah.
I just invited Natasha up here. She's the marketplace department head. And she's put in a lot of work with like, seriously like revamping the whole marketplace for a good like feel, and like has really just like evolved and advanced the culture of that area. A lot goes into just bringing in vendors. She really does put a lot of like thoughtful work into it. So I wanted to make sure she was invited on this panel, even though she just walked in and she's like, whoa. Yeah, see, just.
I have to go get my flight, but I just wanted to say bye, and I love MAGWest, and I love V.
Describe MAGWest.
It's super fun. It's so much fun. It's so intimate and small, and also just so lovely, because you get to really get time to like talk to everybody. Like all the artists and vendors are super friendly, so it's like a big little family, big warm little family, but also not little because we're still like pretty like we're getting bigger, 2000-ish, right? Yeah, we're getting there. So it's really nice, and everyone's super friendly. So go to MAGWest. It's great. We love you. Bye.
Bye. Have a safe flight.
We had a new night market this year. I don't know if you had a sec to say that, but
real quick,
the marketplace is growing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I call it secret market because Fanime has a night market, and that's a different connotation. If you know, you know. But secret market's really cool, and I do want to bring it back. How long it goes for and the timing of it may be up to interpretation depending on what people and feedback said from last year. But I'm gonna keep doing it, and it's gonna be Undertale themed this year, right? So it's gonna be really cool. That's probably,
Yes,
okay.
it's been announced.
I'm like, it's been announced, right? Okay,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's been announced.
cool. So it'll be really fun and interesting, and I'm gonna get plastic hot dogs and have like hot dog stacking. It'll be great. Anyway.
Thanks, Natasha. Say bye, Natasha. All right. Festival highlights. We talked a little bit about some things, like Natasha talked about Secret Market. We got Mages, which is our education symposium. We have Taco Bravo, which is very unofficial, but it happens. We have pool parties. We have Jam Space. We got Craft Cove. We have an area where people can just doodle. And we have a cosplay contest. And Jam Space, and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. I'm not naming all the things because there's so much that goes on in like that 3-weekday weekend. So am I missing something? Do you want to say a thing that happens and I'm missing something?
Okay. Is this lore dump time? So Robbie Benson, aka the main guy for Super Soul Bros, He's sort of installed at MAGWest. He just lives there, and he will invite people to his house, and his house apparently is a taco place that's open until 2 in the morning, and that involves getting onto a bus and then hauling about 40 people to go eat very okay tacos. But that's not why you're there.
That's generous.
I'm trying to be nice here. Taco Bravo, as told by the people next to me at Rasputin or next to Taco Bravo, it's a place you end up. It's not a place you go. But the journey is the part of it. You're on a doot-doot bus where everybody is like honking all of their instruments and yelling. It's insanity. I think I only went once, and that was enough.
Yeah. Also, last year we had an impromptu Megaran concert at Taco Bravo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That when you show up, there's like pianos and lights and keyboards and like just like this little small plaza area, and so you can have an impromptu jam. Now, whether or not if the authorities or the citizens of Campbell, California would love that, who knows? It's a big question mark. But you're there to pick your adventure and your meal.
If you want to hear the live music, be on the first bus.
Yeah.
The second bus is more like a shutdown.
Fair enough.
It's a much more esoteric Colossus roar, I'd say, is Taco Bravo.
Yeah, that's real. We don't have the reverb, so we have a party bus. All right, up next. What to expect this year? Well, Taco Bravo bus, even though, again, unofficial MAGWest event is Taco Bravo bus. But we do, we're steadily, increasing our attendance. More people are starting to find out about it. I think with a lot of the promo events that we've done throughout San Jose, I've done the promo event over in Portland. There's a lot of interest of folks who really want to get down and see us. So 2025, we had about 1,700 check-ins, which is great because it's much better than it was in 2024, much better than it was in 2022, and I think we're on the correct trajectory since the pandemic. We are looking to continue partnerships. I can't confirm what those partnerships are, but I know we just completed one big one with Eastridge Mall, which is called FanCon, and that puts us in front of a lot of families with a lot of the content like panels, performances.
Cosplay, yeah.
Trevor performed at FanCon with his band Character Select, and so we're continuing to pass out the message. I will pause there because I know you usually run most of that.
Yeah, it's very much a mini mag. It's a half-day event. It's 10 to 4, and there's almost always a panel or two, maybe a game show, something interactive. Usually 1 or 2 bands, and then some peripheral stuff. Eastridge is a really great guest partnership. There's a gaming section as well, pretty large gaming section. But they love what we do. It's a free event, but because there's generating business for them all, they're able to pay for the vendors, and by that I mean the gaming, the music. We're actually able to pay all of our artists, which I love when we can put on events where we pay all of our artists. But it's super fun. It's very laid back, and it's trends to be it's a younger trending audience, so I think that's also helping us get in front of people. That's usually around October, so I wish it were a little bit closer to West. That's the only thing, but it's a great event.
Mm-hmm. So we're just doing that. I do believe we're also going to have our donation campaign as well. In order for MAGWest to run, we do borrow money from our parent organization, which is MAGFest Super, or MAGFest, not Super, sorry. Super is its own event, and then there's MAGFest, the agency. I should know better. But, we basically, just for transparency and financials, we have not quite hit the line where we're breaking even. For them, it's worthwhile to have this event because any event that, gets really huge, it's good to have expansion. We know about PAX West, we know about PAX East. SAC Anime has 2 events. So it's just in normal trajectory for events like this to try to expand, even if one is like a little bit more expensive than what it's bringing in. So we do have a donate. We are a 501c3. We do try to put these things towards community, building community. And so if you could, if you have the heart to check out our Give Better campaign, we will be promoting it throughout the year. But you know, if you just look up MAGWest, we do have one that exists currently. Also, and again, very tentatively, so I'm just going to tease it and wait for the real thing, but I know that we're probably going to do some pre-sales through that Give Better campaign. So in the case if that you start following our social media, we'll announce it, so then that way you can get your badge in advance instead of waiting until like once we officially launch it. Launch registration.
Cheapest time to get tickets.
Exactly.
During that Give Better campaign.
We already kind of talked about how we are different from MAGWest. Clearly, MAGFest does not have a pool feature. There is a pool here, there is a hot tub here, but there's no pool parties. Sorry, Super. And then we talked about the mini events. Great. And then, what are people saying about MAGWest? Okay, MAGWest does an incredible job with like things like pool parties that help build the community experience and joy. I don't know what they do at Super, but it's a very special way to connect with people that you might not otherwise cross paths with. Great. MAGWest is MAGFest. We got a pool parties. We got unofficial Bravo Bus. We got orange sauce. We didn't write these. Good weather, good vibes, and good friends. Indie devs, LAN parties, and VTubers. Oh my. The vintage, I can't read. The vintage Tiny Mag feel, a lot of ways it almost feels more communal than Super, which has gotten so big over time. A couple of things come to mind. Our small size and usual hotel layout lets us be a little bit more nimble and experimental with lineups and programming. The event feels like a nice reflection of the cultural diversity in the Bay Area. I do like that we play with more contemporary yearly themes too. Like Carrie said earlier. Carrie, who's Carrie? Anyway.
Carrie Wood.
Oh,
I think I wrote this. I don't know why you pulled this one. They were asking for feedback.
I was just pulling things. Sorry.
Yeah.
MAGWest
Yeah,
Choir,
MAGWest
woo!
Choir, which also this year they performed with the orchestra, which was a really amazing concert. Yeah, check that one out on the YouTube playlist. It was really good.
Damn, why'd you out yourself? I'm messing with you, sorry.
I didn't know you were going to use that one.
It was good feedback. I was like, oh, that's so nice. I didn't even know it was you. Pool party is a pretty unique aspect. I think the number of rhythm games, Japanese cabs isn't necessary. Oh, excuse me, rude. But is something rare for the East Coast audience. I always see games out West I'd never be able to find at home. That's a unique take. Guabs. VVGO.
Yes.
That was it. VVGO. And to clear what VVGO is the virtual video game orchestra. They popped up during the pandemic to give musicians an opportunity to record the music that they wanted, that they're passionate about. And so I bring them in to basically run our version of our community orchestra. And so they've been doing it since 2022, and it's just been like a really nice feature. And then as of last year, we started collaborating with, I keep pointing to Michelle because Michelle's great. But like they collaborated with her choir to do like this really wonderful like Final Fantasy VII concert to bring it a little bit more to life because, Final Fantasy music, Square Enix music wouldn't be as, epic if they didn't have a choir with the orchestra. So it was just a wonderful collaboration, and we're hoping to continue doing that on a year-to-year basis. So yeah, shout out to Grace, Justin, who are not here, Brandon Harnish, who's also been leading the charge, as well as like Jose Daniel Ruiz. And then, we have a GIF of Carrie and Lacey Johnson, that was during our Persona year. And then this was also during our Persona year where we played Pepsi Man. Oh. I don't know who that man could be. I think it's just Pepsi Man. And they actually did pass out Pepsi during this concert. Story time. We talked a little bit about Bravo Bus. There's lots of stuff that's going on here. Does anybody who has been to MAGWest have a story that they want to share? Ooh, oh my gosh.
Come on up. Oh, was there a mic?
There's a mic over here.
Mic check. I have to hand it over. I don't want to make people walk. Hello?
Yeah, get in line.
Toasting. Oh my God. It's hot. Jesus. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
So where do I stand?
Just right
Anywhere, you're fine. Yeah.
Sorry.
Away from the speaker. Yeah. There you go.
Do I face the audience or face the host?
Face the audience. There are more of them than us.
Okay, so I've been going to MAGFest since 2022 during the Jazz Radio year, and I've been going to it every year since then. And I'm just saying that it's been expanding, and I'm really glad seeing it. And while I say not really helping out, but I really love the arcade scene. They run 24 hours, they do regular tournaments, and shout out to my friend who's not here because he was at AGDQ instead, but he does regular My tournaments there. And if you are ever interested in rhythm games, please check out the arcade. And also, I just want to say I love the push in 2024 with the collaboration with Off-High Expo, where they bought a lot of VTubers. Unfortunately, they didn't do it for 2025, but I hope they do it more in 2026. Shout out to Mano Monet because she did a DJ set during around like midnight, 2 or 3 a.m. at 2024 as one of her fans. I really love to see her thrive, and so that's pretty much it. Pretty much all I want to say.
Thank you. Yeah, you can put the mic back down. Stand there. Thank you, Michelle. Oh. It's so hot.
Yeah, just leave it where it is.
Boom. No, it's not. Yeah, I went to the first MAGWest, which I think is 2017.
Yeah.
It was and at least for the in-person ones, I went until 2022. I moved, so it's much harder to get to California from Minnesota now. MAGWest is so nice because you can just easily just walk into a performer and they're not swamped by people. At least, like when it was first starting, there was like almost no one, so you just can talk to. Like I just had like a 20 to 30 minute conversation with Lacey Johnson, and we just nerded about like music production for that entire time. And but my favorite memory has to be Super MAGWest experience, because I went and got lunch, walked across the street to the sushi place, brought sushi. Super Soul Brothers is playing at the pool. And it's like 90 degrees outside and sunny. So I'm sitting in the sun trying to eat sushi while it's actually like getting cooked by the sun, as well as myself, listening to this awesome video game jazz music performed by Super Soul Brothers. And I really can't think of anything that is more MAGWest than that.
Yeah.
So, my favorite memory.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Michelle. I'm I guess the choir person now, but I'm also married to Jean, so I'm very close to MAGWest. I've been to all of them, of course, but I think one of my favorite memories with the choir was the first year we did it. We call it co-op choir, and I brought all my choir friends in. I roped them in. I'm like, okay, guys, like I need to make sure there are people at this thing. So I had my choir buddies come, and they were like so blown away, and they were so excited about MAGWest. They wanted to come back the next year and sing again. So, you know, one of the things I think that we're trying to do with MAGWest is really expand the audience in a really organic way, and also as a part of the local community. So that's, I think, one of my favorite things about MAGWest, and I've been able to sing a lot more and do my own things. Like I have a new band called the Keyblades, and we performed at FanCon, and we had our debut at MAGWest last year. So it's a really fun time, and it's a really good place for musicians, I think, because like other people have said, it's super participatory. So just come in, do some stuff, play some music, and it's a lot of fun. And I won't mention the cake.
Gabe, do you want to take this one? I brought it up briefly in the Lumberjacks panel. I don't know if you want to talk about the cake incident.
I also want to make. Now I'm like picking and choosing who tells a story, but I also want Ben to talk about MAGHell.
Oh,
Oh,
that
okay,
Ben.
cool.
I was like, yeah, Ben, come on up. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, right? Gwobs, 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 gwobs.
Yeah.
Baba Booey.
Thank you.
Literally took what I was going to say. Screw you. Word for word. I'm Ben. I played MAGWest in 2018, which was that at a different venue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Parking there sucked, so I'm glad it's at a different one now. But then I went in 2019 for fun, and then I worked there in 2022 and 2023. MAGHell was this event we did that basically just felt like an hour and a half long shitpost of a panel. I met Mason Lieberman there,
Yes.
which is fun, because he ordered DoorDash in the middle of the panel. And then at the end of the panel, we got there were like 50 people there, and we got all of them to march throughout the hotel yelling straight to hell. Not yelling, we would have gotten in trouble, but we basically started a cult, which was fun. Yes, we aggressively whispered it. But unironically, my favorite part of MAGWest is what Gene was saying earlier about how it does feel like a cultural hub for the Bay Area. There's a lot of really good local talent in the Bay Area, and it sometimes feels like I do a lot of theater stuff. A lot of times people just get flown out and a lot of stuff gets covered by people from out of state, out of San Francisco, and that sucks. And it's really cool that there's a cultural event that happens that utilizes local talent, and that is something that should not be taken for granted. Because the Bay Area, I'm biased, I live there. It's like a very, very sick spot, and thank you guys for actually providing. I can't look at you and thank you for providing that space. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a team.
And Ben is also a very talented musician. Check out his music. Ben Vizzini. What? No, it's true. You're a very talented musician. Yeah.
So I got really excited for a second because I saw a picture in the corner. I was like, oh, that's us. It's not us. It's the high school all-stars.
Oh, the one that Oscar,
Yeah. We both did big bands the same year. That was fun. So I thought that was us. I can't see. But I want to mention that MAGWest is actually the reason that my band got started. And even more specifically, V is the reason my band got started. We're both in a band called the 7th Street Big Band. We're a West Coast band that does a lot of stuff, and we did some video game stuff, like with Super Soul Bros and whatnot. It was after a rehearsal one day, and V's like, "Hey, you do a lot of video game stuff, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And like, "Have you ever heard of MAGWest or MAGFest?" I'm like, "Yes." I don't think I actually did. I think I was just making shit up.
No, please keep talking.
No. But yeah, she told me about that, and I was like, and she's like, yeah, you should come help out or whatever. Like, and I took that as, oh, I should make a band. And so I have another group that, I have a group that I'm in called Frunky Man, and I literally took that group and was like, hey, can we do video game music? And they're like, sure. And then Carrick was born from that, and then Gene got me on for our first show. It was 2022. It was like just a little 30-minute thing on the jam space, but he's like, I remember Gene being like, yeah, you guys seem all right, before we went up, and then we went, and it's like, oh shit, you guys are actually good.
Well, I'd never heard of you guys. You had no social media presence. Somebody just said, book these guys. I'm like, sure, whatever. And then I'm like, get these guys on the main stage next year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was our first show though too. So yeah, nothing there. And then the next year too, I was we did the main stage too as a collaboration with 7th Street Big Band, and we also had. And then V again is like, hey, you should be on the composers panel. Are you sure about that? Because I was on that panel with a lot of people, including Ben Vizzini, including Mazer Lieberman. You did moderate that panel. Yeah, it's him and Mazer Lieberman, all these award-winning panelists. I'm like, I have a video game band. No, but seriously, this event is how I got how Carrick Select and all my band got their start, and it's been amazing ever since. So you guys are amazing.
Oh, thanks,
thank
Trevor. So Trevor is one of the more, how would I best put this, and I'll try to keep it short. The moment he learned that MAGWest and MAGFest existed, all he talks about with me is MAGWest and MAGFest. So like I will be at a party just chilling, has nothing to do with MAGFest, has nothing to do with MAGWest. And then all of a sudden I just see Trevor in my peripherals, just like coming really slow. He's like, hey V, so can you tell me more about MAGFest Super? I'm like, Trevor, I am like a couple shots in and I am trying to turn my brain off. And then he's like, oh no, we can talk about it later. And it's like, but you want to talk about it now? He's like, yeah. So it's totally fine. He's like and one of the things I love about Trevor too is like when he comes into the convention space, he is everywhere and it's always saxophone in hand and he's already played somewhere for like 2 hours and then he's like walking across the street to play more and then he'll busk and then he'll be on the party bus, which I don't have a photo of today, but like he was on the Bravo bus, I feel like for all rides and just like playing the entire time. So like one of the things I just want to celebrate about Trevor is like he works really fucking hard to just, you know, do the things that he really appreciates. And so like I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much. But yeah, the last thing I will say is like if I do find out that my musician friends are at MAGWest and they're being really humble, I will get them on panels because I need them to talk about their experiences.
Thank you.
Of course. You can sit down.
Okay. Thank you, and I'll stop talking about MAGFest so much.
You're fine. Love you, bro. You're good. Any other stories?
Oh, we got one coming up.
Oh, yes.
One semi-story, not even that, more of like, not a fun story, but I guess 2 years ago I did try to host a panel for MAGWest. It was my first time just trying to host anything. I ended up asking a question on the Discord that like I think scared some of the moderation team, but everything worked out fine there. But also, I ended up getting a really bad stomach ache like the day of, so I ended up not coming out that well. But recently here at the Soapbox, I had an idea for, hey, I have a panel I want to do. Actually, 2 of them. I gave it. They absolutely loved it. They ate it up. And so now I'm actually thinking, hey, I know I have the confidence to try and pitch it for MAGWest 2026.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go. We always, by the way, just to say, like, I know panels can be very competitive, but please know, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, like, if you don't get something except at MAGWest, just keep applying. Like, so don't ever stop applying, don't give up, like, just, because I really try my best, especially on the programming side of things, to rotate. So, please apply. I think our applications are gonna open up sometime after January, maybe early February, so just keep your eyes peeled.
Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Did you want to come up or just a question?
I have a question.
Sure.
Yes.
So speaking of Soapbox, I actually went up there yesterday, and I only discovered that's a thing like this year. And I just want to say, I had a good time presenting, even though I'm not good at public speaking, that kind of thing. I was wondering, is this gonna be also a thing at MAGFest?
We've had Soapbox in the past. Yeah, I think we did it. Was it 2 years ago and last year, or just 2 years ago?
We did it last year.
Okay,
Yeah. So Soapbox here, I think is like a running program. So like I don't think there's any stop to it. Where MAGWest, we have dedicated blocks to do Soapbox because we're limited on space. So we don't have a dedicated room. We just have like nighttime blocks where folks can talk about anything and everything under the sun. So we try to do it in like, it's like a speed round of it, where it's like you get 10 minutes to say whatever, and then it goes to the next person. So we do try to advocate a little bit of that, especially if folks are like, I really want to do a panel, I really wanted to present on something, but can I present on anything in a space because I'm not a musician? Can I do something? And it was like, yeah, we do have like these 10-minute speed rounds where you can do that. Yes.
Just ask a question. You guys have like a card game section at MAGWest, and
Yeah.
like Yu-Gi-Oh players there? This is barely in here and stuff.
Yeah. Have we had a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament?
I'm not positive about Yu-Gi-Oh. I do know we have a pretty robust tabletop, just general section.
That's a big mahjong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Believe it or not, our mahjong tables were booked basically nonstop. If you wanted to play, you better get in line. It was super popular, yeah, but I don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically. I can't answer that question, sorry.
Yeah, you could always suggest it.
Yeah.
We do have a community Discord. It's a separate channel in the main MAGFest Discord. So if there's something that you want to see, or like, like if you're like, oh, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Regularly and I want to do a tournament, do you guys do tournaments? I would just start creating some hype around that. And our tabletop department head will see that, and it also gives him some ideas of like what to facilitate in that space. Yes, Ben.
So I got here late, so you might have already talked about this, so sorry.
Okay.
But is there anything like that you can talk about that you're planning for 2026 that's like a new thing?
Not right now, because we're still having beginning stages of bookings. Go ahead.
Do you mean like a new type of programming or something?
Anything new or exciting that you're changing for 2026?
I think our structure is pretty stable between this year and last year. I can't think of any like new fixtures. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of our new stuff happened last year, so we added in MAGFast, where for a while we did not have a speed running team that did charity, and so MAGFast here had a conversation with me, and I said, if you guys can run it and do the thing, the space is yours to do it. And then we also had Secret Market, which was also a new feature to see like how popular it'd be to bring in like more niche items. Again, not night market where it insinuates 18 plus content, not at all. It's more of like kind of more carnival style, like, face paintings and like some little mini games and like photo shoots and places where you can do a photo shoot. So that was also a new thing that we did. And I will say the last thing is that there was a new space that opened up to us literally 24 hours before the event started. Yeah. So we had to like quickly figure out like, well, what goes there? And so there was like an impromptu karaoke night, which was used. So that worked out really well because people just want to occupy space, which is great. But we were just like, we don't even know if we're going to get that next year. So we're all just still trying to sort out what it looks like. But as for like the content structure, we're still going to keep all of the same things. But we're just hoping that more people take, mindful advantage of it and participate and have a good time.
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Was Secret Market the rooftop?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say along similar lines, the pool hours ran a little bit later. We had stuff going till about 7 or 8. In the past, we've tried to kind of shift people towards main stage just so we don't split the audience, but we're kind of getting to a size where we can start to fill in the space a little bit more, have a little bit more concurrent music happening in various different spaces. But that also, there's, staff limitations. So if anybody wants to volunteer and help run those things, we're always looking for anybody who's able to run a board for a couple hours. But again, talk to us offline.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're getting down to the last 5 minutes here. Is there any, let me check to see if I have more slides. How to get involved? Oh my God. Thanks, Jean. Wow, you're like a psychic. Yeah, if you want to get involved with the event, as Jean basically explains, you can become a volunteer. You can become a panelist. You can apply to perform on our stages. You can apply to be an esteemed guest. We do take in guest bookings. You can become a MAGWest partner, meaning that if you know an organization out there who wants to collaborate with us in some way. So, for example, we worked with the MAID, which is the Museum of Arts and Digital Entertainment. And so we could always use more MAGWest partners to talk about like the history of things or like the expertise behind a very specific thing. Demonstrate your indie game. You can just come through and attend. You can come through and attend and bring your axe, which means your instrument. I will say that if you don't have an instrument, you can bring a kazoo. It's still an instrument. I used a kazoo earlier for a workshop. Your voice is an instrument. Thank you, Michelle. I'm not a vocalist, clearly.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Mayonnaise could be an instrument on the Guabs panel. I got that reference, don't worry. So yeah, we did kind of already have our Q&A session. Oh, look, there's Ben and there's Jean. Oh, okay, and Michelle, look at that. And then, Yeah, and then also just as a reminder, we do have dates. The dates for this year is August 14th through the 16th. As you notice, it is Deltarune, Undertale inspired. And yeah, that's about it. And that concludes our wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. You saw us through the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, whatever. All right, thanks, y'all.